Hey guys, this is Brian here from Top Deck, and today we'll be bringing you a branded Telemans deck profile. This deck is very versatile, very consistent. We are playing a total main deck of 41, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So the branded Telemans deck profile begins with 3 field spell, 1 terraforming. You really want to draw this. This is an amazing card. It provides a search, it provides a pop every time something shuffled back. And we're playing 1 Rhino Heart, 3 Halfiness, 3 Siren, and 3 Merrily. So, of course you want to see as many names as possible. However, you may notice I'm playing only 1 Rhino Heart. The 1 Rhino Heart is because as much as you want to see the names, there's only 1, 2, 3 times your confusion, and then milling Rhino Heart means you just get to mill 1 more of these. So Rhino Heart means one extra of each name. However, if you mill multiple of them, there's no use, and 2 Rhino Hearts could just have so much more space for something else. Because this is the branded variant, we don't play a lot of XCs. Well, we don't play any at all. So special summoning Rhino Heart is not really a priority. That's why we play 1 Rhino Heart to avoid bricking as well. You wouldn't consider him a brick. Sometimes you would, but I find that when I draw him, I have a much harder time playing than drawing the branded stuff, Halfiness, Poly with these. This is probably the best card going. Siren is probably the best card going first. So yeah, this is the Telemans part of the deck. You always want to draw the field spell. That's why we play the terraforming. Oh, almost forgot the 1 Meta Noise. I was debating between Meta Noise or the Continuous Trap. The Continuous Trap only sends 1 that you control, but this one sends 1 straight from the deck. However, the continuous one does seem really cool because it is an impermanent every turn. It does, if it gets sent to a graveyard by a card effect, it is search from deck rather than a recover from graveyard. So I do like the other one too. We're still doing, the format's still new. We're still doing some testing. I really want to fit that in the deck, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yes. And then next up, we have the branded portion. So it's very standard. You have your 3 Alubas, the best starter. You have Albaz, 2 Albaz, and the branded fusion and branded openings. So these are your starters over here. You draw any one of these, you're very happy. Even Albaz going first, going second. Going first, there's so many ways to search out polymerization because of the cards that are coming. You don't mind drawing the Albaz, of course you love drawing the Alubas, of course. But first and foremost, I love drawing opening. I love drawing opening over branded fusion. Opening just provides so much protection for my fusion monsters. For it could dodge Veiler, Ash, or not Ash, just Veiler. But yeah, so this is the branded part of the deck. Very self-explanatory. It could dump one of the names, one of these names with the branded fusion, so you get 2 fusions of 1 fusion, which is pretty cool. However, the problem I find most with this deck is that you run out of materials because you shuffled everything back in grave. So yeah, you really gotta play this deck well. It's not an easy deck to play. Maybe that's why people are playing Splight, because Splight is more intuitive and linear in a sense. Okay, so now with the last bit of the main deck, we got the going second cards right here and the support cards. So we got the droplets, the super poly, and the Dark Ruler No Mores. You can't really play hand traps in this deck. You can replace this. These are the flex spots and the cards to come as well. They are the flex spots. You can replace them with hand traps if you want to, but I do find that you can't really trade with the Splight board. You can't really trade with a lot of the boards if you do go second. You just pray you draw Halfiness and like some hand traps if you are running hand traps. Yeah, like I really don't recommend hand traps being played here. Other people might disagree. As I love hand traps. I advocate it in every deck I played. However, the first deck profile and this one, I don't really have hand traps in there. It is more of a fun build. If I was to go to a tournament, I would take Striker. However, this is a very strong deck. Yesterday, I went to a box tournament. I came second, unfortunately. I only lost to the first place guy who was playing Striker, because Mystic Mine and D-Barrier is pretty broken. But yeah, so if you listen to me, don't play hand traps, play going second cards. It's really hard unless we find some hand traps that could be milled to do something with it, that we can do something with. Otherwise, just play these, the best going second cards. And this, yes. Okay, now we have the support cards, the last few miscellaneous cards. You guys might wonder, what are these? So we got 2 Polys, 2 King of the Swamp. Basically, King of the Swamp searches Poly, and it could act as any name. However, you can't dump it off Branded Fusion as Fallen of Albaz, as I've learned. My friend was really confused when I activated Branded Fusion, sent this and a random dark, and they're like, "Where's your Albaz?" So it's the same ruling with Red Eyes Fusion and any of these name replacing type cards. You can't dump it as a name. But they do become usable in the graveyard. That's why you have to go through Lubellion to get to the Dragoon with the Light Hex Shield. And for this one, you just hope to mill it and then use it as Rhino Heart, use it as Relinquished, use it as you can use it as anything. So this package is definitely needed. We're only playing 2/2 because we do brick on them. I do like to play 3, however, it's not. I want to up this count, but there's no space. Right now we're playing 42, sorry, with this. This is the newest edition. You can take this out, leave this in, because we have a lot of strikers in our locals, though that's why I need to play this. There's a lot of strikers, and like very good strikers, such as Peter. You guys may have heard of him. He went to YCS Hartford as well, came top 8 with striker. Of course, we have Pojang, our Lord and Savior Pojang. Yeah, you just need this to outmine. So how this works is basically you somehow mill this, or you just have this in the graveyard. You have any of your kits in the graveyard. Boop, boop, boop. Where's your kit? So any of your kits or your aquas in the graveyard, you can banish this, shuffle this back, and draw 1 card. But if you have the field spell, because the aqua is shuffled back, you can pop a card. So you pop the Mystic Mine or any floodgate that you may have, and you go +1. So it's 1 for 2. It's pretty cool. It's always treated as polymerization, so you can always search it off King of the Swamp, or yeah. So it's a pretty cool card. I was testing with it. It's pretty cool. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's cool. Yeah, that's it. And then Snow, of course, you're playing milling deck. You have to play Snow. Snow is mad. Yeah, not much to say about Snow. And this is spicy because before the Ishizu cards come out, you don't really see people play Shadows in there. If they do, they're probably bricking 8 out of 10 games. So we just up there for the 1 beast. So the typical line with this is that we will go Branded Fusion. Oop, that's not Branded Fusion. Branded Fusion, dump Albaz and Beast. And then you do your branded stuff, branded shenanigans, you draw 1 card, it's cool. And then typically you have another Tearlament monster. And then you just try to mill, do their stuff, and then you, at the end of the combo, you shuffle back a Beast and a Tearlament, and then you make Winder, and then you win game. Or, alternatively, what you can do is that any of the tiers go into Kit. I will explain Kit Kalos. Kit can search the trap, and then if you have Beast in the grave and you just set this, when you book their monster using the meta noise, you can set and then send any Tearlament. Oop, this one. And then these two shufflebacks make Winda on their turn. So they committed to their normal summon or special summon. You book their monster which can't threaten Winda, and then you summon Winda. I'm already spoiling the extra deck, so we'll just get right onto the extra deck. So the extra deck, of course, we split it into engines. We have the branded package. We try to keep it as low count as possible, because you do recycle them anyways. So we play, I'll probably cut one of these. We do, however, I don't know what to replace it with yet, so I'm keeping this in. The second one does come up sometimes. So we play 2 Mirror Jade, 1 Albion, 1 Masquerade, 1 Lubellion. So because how this deck works is that they shuffle back materials from the graveyard. They are always recurable, so you don't need too many of them, unless of course DD Crow's in the format. So getting one of these DD Crow means you don't have access to them, but I'd rather these get DD Crow than my let's say any of my Tearlaments. Yeah, so that's the branded bit. And then we, of course, very standard 2 kit, 1 Kaleido Heart. So the 2 kit comes up sometimes because you do recycle it a lot. 1 Kaleido Heart is a must. You just get 1. You don't want too many of him because you won't be making him a lot in terms of making multiples of him. You will be making 1 of him in most combos. Yep. And then we have, of course, the best card that should be banned, Winda. Should not be banned. It's pretty cool. It's not like game ending or anything. However, a lot of the decks, especially the crazy decks that like combo through their whole extra deck, just drop this on them, they're done. Of course, you have the 1 Guardian Chimera. Of course, this is not the branded version, so you don't brand it into red into the Chimera. You typically just search the fusion of the King of the Swamp, or you hard draw it, and then you go Polymerization, make Guardian Chimera. It helps us go in second. It helps us on the turn 3 crackback when they set 5. They have monsters that are very big, and it has 33, so it's pretty good. Yeah, and then we have 1 Millennium Ice Restrict. Of course, the Millennium Ice Restrict is insane card. It's just a crazy card. What it does is basically it helps you play through hand traps. Now you may notice, why don't I have an instant fusion in there? Because an instant fusion, why don't I have an instant fusion in there? I should be playing instant fusion. However, you can hard make this with King of the Swamp and any effect monster. You can even, because we do run Super Poly, sometimes you can normal summon King of the Swamp, Super Poly, any effect monster into this, and then this is another negate. It's amazing. And then the rest of the extra deck, we have 2 Dracos Depalia and the 2 Super Poly targets. Now these are the flex spots that I would like to change, but yeah. We're still experimenting. The format's still new. We don't know what's going to be played. Right now, I do find success in these. As I said, I came second in a box tournament. Although that's not saying like this deck is good or bad, or whether I'm good or bad. I just think right now anyone can win if they build their deck right, and that's why I'm using this. I'm showing you guys this deck profile. Maybe you guys can use it as a template and then personalize it however you want. So this is the deck list. Yeah, and then the side deck. The side deck is more supposed to be more catered to wherever your competition is played. So in my locals or my area, there is a lot of Monkey Flip players playing Exo Sisters, playing Eldritch. So I do have a lot of back row hate in terms of Happy Feather, Duster, Prankertops, the 3 twins, not Cosmic this time, 3 twins. So these are my main outs to back row. Of course, I have the one, the Fusion Substitute, whatever it's called, in there just in case I get mined. And for the rest of the side deck, it's a bit spicier. We have this, which help us out the Splite board. A lot of people aren't playing Dupe Frog in Splite because they are playing it with other engines. Dupe Frog is a must in the Splite deck. If you don't, you get destroyed by cards like this, cards like Pank. These just trade so well if Dupe doesn't exist. People cut Dupe because they're like, oh no, it's a brick. But Dupe is there's a reason why it's included in the package. So yeah, Splite players play blue, play Dupe. If you don't play Dupe, get ready to see these guys and end your career. And then now this is the questionable part of my build in terms of side deck. I play 3 Trap Trick, 3 Deck Devastation Viruses, and 3 Eradicator Epidemic Virus. So these 9 are supposed to just provide me a win button. So for example, I draw any one of these, any combination of this, and I meet a Flunder player. They just lost because I flipped this on them. Their whole hand is gone. I versed Peter, which is the striker player, very good striker player. I flipped this in game 2. His whole hand went because people side debarriers against us, and then we just they try to play and then debarrier us next turn. All we do is call traps. 3 cards was discarded. Metaverse, it was Metaverse, Dimensional Barrier, and Trap Trick, all gone. So yeah, so because the format's still new, you can kind of predict what people are going to play because they are net decking. Not a lot of people are innovators, including me. I'm not an innovator. Typically I net deck and I personalize. Side deck is where you can really let your creative spirit shine. So do work on your side deck based on your locals. These win button cards maybe one might be better than the other in your locals, whichever you guys prefer. Yeah, so but yeah, that's the deck profile. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to like and subscribe. If you comment down below to tell us what you want to see more. This is my first deck profile done at home. Hope you guys like it. Top Deck out.